What's good, y'all? So, the cure for addiction. So, addiction, everybody knows at least one person addicted to something. And addiction is anything that you put so much attention to that it ends up hurting you as a person, which usually in turn hurts everybody else, but specifically you as a person. Something that you crave higher than God is an addiction. Okay. But if you don't believe in God, that's cool. That's cool. This will still apply. This will still apply. All right. So in the hunter gatherer days, the adrenaline, when you were hunting, adrenaline would spike, which would, well, dopamine would spike to give you the adrenaline. Dopamine would be sent. It's the chemical in the brain that is released to make the body have more energy and more power. It's the steroids for the body. Okay. So while you're hunting, the dopamine goes to give you adrenaline so that you can go after the prey. So then serotonin is released, and it's like a shot of heroin. It just completely relaxes you and gives you the gratification of I got my prey. Okay. So that is the that's the root cause of addiction is the dopamine. So how you get rid of addiction is first you stop using, but to stop using, you have to think about if you want to quit. Okay? If you don't want to quit, then it's not going to work. You can go through rehab, all that good jazz, and that'll give you the time to realize that you want to quit. Doesn't work for everybody. The 12 steps is a good process. I'm not going to deny that. I just don't believe that alcoholism is a permanent disease. It's a philosophy. By the name, it's a philosophy. Okay. So I think that was no. Okay. This is a tobacco cigarette, by the way. Tobacco joint. But where were we? The hunter gatherer days, so the dopamine. So actually getting your addiction, whatever it may be, the dopamine goes while you're getting it. And then the using it is a substitute for the serotonin. So, and there's a lot more going on involved. I'm well aware of that, but these are the two key components. All right. So, the serotonin is what gives you the gratification of uh, the gratification. So, tell you can relax. All right. So, then the dopamine gets blocked, especially when you do a lot of hard drugs. And then you have to use the substance in order to get the dopamine back. That is why working out can get the dopamine back in a processing mode. The medications that stabilize the moods block the dopamine, uh, that block the dopamine from functioning. So working out kind of counterbalances that and teaches the brain to work for itself again. They do have dopamine supplements. If you have a lack of dopamine, you can take these dopamine supplements and it'll teach the brain then how to reproduce dopamine. It'll be like, oh, I remember how to do that. And then working out and thinking a lot and having something that you crave, whatever Whatever makes you happy is going to produce dopamine. Okay. Anything that doesn't make you happy produces cortisol, which is a very negative drug. When you go to horror movies and you're scared, it produces cortisol, which cortisol is a stress hormone that actually makes your body deteriorate faster. That is a fun fact. Yeah, so how to prolong aging after, it takes a year for your body to fully become new. And so in 2 years, you can take that full new body and create whatever you want out of it. That's why 2 years is a good time frame, because if you put your all into it for a year and take out all the negative things, you can do it slowly, gradually, however it works. Just start the thought process of, I think I want to fix this. I think I want to change this. I think I want to do this, and I think I want to do that, and ruminate on that. At first, it could just be a fleeting thought, but then focus on it a little bit, just a thought, because thoughts turn into actions when you put in the effort. Because the sandwich just isn't there. First, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. Then you're like, oh, I have food in the fridge. Then you're like, oh, I'm going to go make the sandwich. Then you get up and go make the sandwich. So at least that's how it works for me. But yeah, I think I'm sober for about 2 weeks now this time. Like I said, last time I didn't really want to go into the drinking phase, but I felt, not because of addiction, because of, I use it as a tool to help me lose inhibition so that the universe can speak through me properly. I go, yeah. And that would be what an addict says. I know an addict always has an excuse, but there are rules to the exception to the rules. You know what I'm saying? Just like not everybody that I used to be 0.07% body fat, and they told me I was sick. So they made me go get a physical. I went and got a physical, and they said, you're the healthiest person we've ever seen. I was like, I know. Thank you. And so, it's subjective to the person. Individuality is the most important thing. Everybody has their own fingerprint. You think their whole body's not going to work differently? I mean, come on. That's why the mainstream masses medical system of your body, if you are the average, and they keep changing the average so that you're even more unhealthy and unhealthy and unhealthy. So it's reversing and it's getting back to healthy, which is good, but individual medical care is so important, because telling everybody they need to keep their cholesterol and then medicating them if it's too high or low, or blood sugars is important, but blood sugars is still different for each person. Everything is different for each person. Each snowflake and each drop of whatever, each snowflake has its own design. Each fingerprint has its own design. You think that the whole body isn't, when you put an organ into somebody else, it can fail because the DNA in the cells are different. And cells know when cells are not in the right body. Just saying. Yeah, I think that's gonna be all for now. I love it.